Welcome to Down the Middle podcast. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is. H. Moore, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Bit of a busy week for me, but thankfully made the podcast tonight.
Made it.
Might have been a bit of a solo one from you, and might have had to put a little recording together then when you put it out.
That would have been a tough slog. It's freaking hot today, mate. Recording on a Thursday. We can push it back a little bit because we've only got games on Sunday. It was freaking hot today. Far out. I'm sweating it even now. Vegas this weekend. So we're going to kick off with a season preview, ladder predictor. A couple other things towards the end. Bit of live golf because they're over in Jeddah this week.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Looks nice and warm over there. Do you want to jump straight into it?
Mate, let's jump straight into it, I reckon.
Go for it.
Well, first topic is going to be our annual ladder prediction, where we're going to go through an alphabetical order this year and then recap at the end what positions they were in order, so then it's a little bit easier. Mate, first team off the rank is the grand final runner-ups, the Brisbane Broncos, mate. How did you have them going this year?
Well, I got a couple of little points for each team. I was saying to H before, I've done some research, something that you won't get from the bloke that's not here. I've done some research. Look, I think Reynolds just re-signed. That's good. But looking at the team lists over the last couple of days, who's his successor? They got Tristan Saylor there, but, what's he going to do? Big pressure on Mam, I think, this year, because I think we said last week, how many more years does Reynolds have left? He drives that whole team. I think Walsh will probably go well this year. I don't know what I wrote for the next one. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, I'm thinking top 8, but maybe dropping down a little bit. I think they probably got lucky last year. I think maybe 6th, maybe 5th, something there. Maybe the bottom half of the top 8.
Okay, well, I've gone the other way. I think they're going to come second again, mate. I think they're definitely going to build on last year. I think another year of Reynolds being there, the combination will be good. Mam stepped up last year. Walsh another pre-season under his belt there. I think these boys will be fired up, especially starting this week in Vegas. I think they'd want to get off to a strong start and then bring it home, back over for round 2. So, yeah, I've got them finishing second.
I think that'll be a common theme as we go through these 17 teams, that me and you probably won't pick many of the same as we did last year.
Yeah.
That's all right. My point that I had was, it says Connor to the centers, but it was Cobbo. Thanks for the spell check. Autocorrect. Cobbo to the centers. I think the hype around Cobbo may be over. That was my point. But anyway.
Yeah, they're a little bit of a weird combination. But anyway.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the second team, mate, the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah. Too many rookies in this side for me. I think this is going to cost them. I think we said last week, Fogarty, too much pressure on his back. I see them dropping right down the ladder, bottom 4. I think it's just going to take them a year or 2 once they work out who's. Even at the moment, all the hype of the preseason is Chevy Stewart, KO Wheats, and Ethan Strange. Who plays where? Meanwhile, they've still got blokes that are probably going to, win the fullback role and potentially could kick them out of the half. So, yeah, I think too many rookies, too much pressure on Fogarty, bottom 4.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, mate, and that's why I've put him into 16th. I think, yeah.
I don't like hearing 16th early, because that means the Dragons could still be on your last rung of the ladder. Oh, shit, that little smile doesn't help me.
Well,
no spoilers. No spoilers.
Order,
no spoilers.
It's you have to wait a bit.
Let's go Canterbury Bulldogs. Go Canterbury Bulldogs. What do you got?
Mate, I put them high didn't put them high, sorry, but put them in the middle of the pack last year. They absolutely failed me. So I've learnt my mistake. They haven't looked too good in the trials either. All their new signings haven't played because they've been under an injury cloud, and I just don't think it's going to work. I think they're going to come in 2 underdone, and I have them finishing 14th, mate.
Okay. I disagree. I think last year I was probably optimistic. I think this could be the year. They've been building their team. We've spoken about the fact that, you know, their top 30 roster doesn't have a single player from 2020, from 3 years ago. And I think they finally hit the mark. Burton, Crichton, Taff. I think we'll see some combinations there. Crichton could play like a roaming centre role. I like the signing of Taff to make fullback his own over to the Dogs. I can see them maybe just cracking the 8. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
There we go. We're going, and there's obviously listeners, you'd probably hear he's going a bit more.
I'm going positional, sort of, and I'll give you everything at the end.
Yeah, and more like me, I'm going straight up, bang, mate. Moving on to the next team. Got the colours on. My Cronulla Sharks, mate.
24 premiers?
No, not 24.
Okay, good. I want that out of the way early. Good. Yep. No. Keep going.
Mate, I think we'll have a little bit of a slide this year. I don't know. I think Fitz is a good coach, but he needs to make some of these tough calls to let some younger guys take over and give them a shot. I still got Makers in the 8, mate, but I've got us down at 7th. So
7th. Okay.
Yeah. I think we'll be good. We need to. It's just we can't get over this top 8 hoodoo of beaten sides, and we've got to stay injury free. I think if we have a couple of injuries early, I think that will definitely blow us out of water. Maybe a bit too much pressure on Nico Hines without some of these guys, but hopefully my team can prove me wrong and go a little bit higher. But
I don't think they can, mate. I think it'll be the same for the Sharks. They'll get to about the same spot they did last year. I've written down, I think Moylan out of the picture is definitely good. It gives Trindle and Hines now the opportunity to just same team every week. Let's do it. I like Trindle. No one on the bench. I actually, one point I've got there is I think McInnes as a captain is a fantastic move.
Yeah.
I really, really, really liked him when he was playing for the Dragons. Again, I don't know if they'll be able to beat those top 8 sides enough to advance, either to put themselves in a good position for finals series, but also to be able to advance further into the finals. I've got finishing 7th or 8th.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So we're on the money there.
Yeah, definitely. The second year that the Dolphins are going to be in the comp, mate, I have them finishing a little bit. I know they had a very good start and then obviously slipped up at the end of the year. It's probably, worthy. They had a lot of injuries. They just couldn't get the same 17 out. They always had a suspension or an
that's
injury.
True. Yeah.
I have them improving a little bit, but not enough. I have them in 12th. I think if they finish 12th, I think that's still a solid year for them. They got a couple of new recruits this year, obviously. Averillo, Herbie Farnworth.
Herbie Harnsworth.
I went the other way.
Bates will like that one.
I think they'll be good. I think they'll be up and down again. I think they'll have a good start, low, up again, probably low back at the end of the year.
Yeah. I've got bottom 4. I said last week, Jeremy Marshall-King, I think it's his year to lead that team. It's got to be Milford's last chance. I've gone a big call here, and I think if we're going for what do we usually do? We usually go what do you call making a big call? Far out, can't even think of it now. But I think you could be playing Regis by June.
I don't even think he makes a 17.
You don't reckon? Good. Perfect. So even before that, I think again injuries wise, I think they'll keep him around because I think he might be in there. I like Bostock and Farnworth. They just had, who was it? Gilbert just done his ACL, so that
Half the season, ACL done.
that's huge. He played pretty well last year, and I actually had him in my Supercoach team a couple of times. He's a big fella in that front row. I think bottom 4 this year, which is not. It just is what it is. New team, they got to
Their
sort
second
it
year,
out.
100%.
That's not me bashing them. That's just I think
No.
bottom 4.
And I don't think Wayne Bennett's the coach that he used to be as well. I think he's only got this year, and then I think it goes to the assistant coach that they got from England. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was good for him to start it off, and
100%.
Yeah, he'll get through this year, and then I think he needs to go back to the farm.
Definitely, mate. Moving on to the Gold Coast Titans, obviously new coach in Desi Hasler, and I don't really see him improving much, mate. I got him in 13th. I don't think they will. I think they'll have a good couple games. I think they might beat 1 or 2 top sides, but I think the Titans are consistently just each year they just don't throw up much, really.
They just do nothing. I like Des, the signing of Des to the coach. I think he will kick him into gear, but it won't be this year. They're not going to fire this year. They've had some positional changes. I think Campbell's going to make that full back position his. Brimson to the centres.
5'8".
Campbell 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8", but he's injured.
He was going to play 5'8", what? And then Brimson, because Brimson I thought Brimson was going to move to the centres. Who was going to play fullback?
Sorry. He was fullback, but he's in 5'8" in Supercoach. That's right. Sorry, I got mixed up then. That's right.
Sorry. Battlers.
But he's injured anyway. They reckon he won't be back until round 4. So
okay, but anyway, Tanner Boyd, because there was obviously Brimson, Boyd, and all trying to work out those halves. So they got to work on some combinations. I got them bottom 4. Interesting stat in their top 30: 2 foreigns, 2 Fa'asua Maliuis in the team. How do you say Tino's last name? I'm reading it. Fa'asua Mali. 2 of them, Isaac and Tino, and 2 foreigns.
who's the other foreign?
I don't know, some young bloke like Matt Foreign or something. Kieran and some young bloke. I don't know. Interesting stat. Bottom 4 team though.
Beautiful. Mate, moving on to another Vegas team, the Manly Sea Eagles. I think they'll actually have a pretty good year. I got them 5th.
5th.
I think they all stay healthy. I think Turbo still was healthy this year. I like the addition of Luke Brooks. Definitely during the Origin period when they're going to lose both
That's
Turbos.
True. That's true.
Cherry Evans.
Okay.
I think that you'd be still good to steer them around the park. So I think 5th for me, mate.
Yeah, I can't see him cracking the 8. I think they'll fall just outside the 8. Turbo back, obviously huge, needs to stay fit. Brooks will probably find some form.
I think he's going to have such a good year.
I don't know how good he is though. Like, does anyone actually know how good he is?
And this is the Oregon he proved to actually go, you know what? He should have left the Tigers when Moses and Teddy left as well.
Probably, but lots of people are getting excited about him. I think he'll go well. But how good is he?
He's the best team he's ever played in, and they haven't even played a game. That's how good it is.
Anyway, I think Schuster and Olakuatu, I think they've probably got to be the 2 key players to get the team behind them. I think they've got to go hard and try and push for near Origin selection. I don't think they'll play, but they got to be in the talks for them to. I can see the Sea Eagles maybe getting into the top 8, but I think they'll finish just outside. I don't know if they'll beat some of those top teams.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Moving on, got the Melbourne Storm.
Came 3rd last year. I don't even know how they came third because they just weren't that good for a lot of those games. I think it'll be a rinse and repeat though. Paps is back. That helps. They got some pretty good depth when I was looking through their top 30. Especially I think Pezzett played pretty well in the trials and not too bad last year, especially when Munster plays Origin. What's his name? Elias Katoa. I think I think he could have a great season, and I think you could see we're going to talk about top try scorers. He's not going to be a top try scorer, but for a forward, he might be. I reckon he'll score some tries this year. I got him coming top 4.
Rightio. Well,
is this your team?
Well, just before we press record, mate, I said I got one team moving down 8 spots, and this is the team. I've got the Melbourne Storm finishing in 11th. I think they have a massive down season. I just don't see how they. I don't rate the squad.
I would love to see that.
I don't rate the squad. I think Pappenhausen, love him. I need to see 4 games from him in a row. Munster, he's getting up there. He's getting a little bit more injury. He's got an injury cloud coming under next week. Jerome Hughes can get injured. I think even when they come to Origin, like some of these boys, and I think this is the year that Melbourne have the slide that everyone expects from them. And I think 2024 is the...
Because they kind of did. I think me and you both tipped them to come. I think I said 5th last year. You maybe said about the same, 5th or 6th or something. And they were sitting in that bottom half of the top 8 for a long, long time. And then they won a few games late where other teams didn't, and they jumped into 3rd. Again, like I said, I don't know how they got to 3rd, but okay, big slide. How's that one for you, Battlers? That's a shock factor. Nice.
Definitely.
All right, what about New Zealand Warriors?
Mate, I think they finished exactly, I think they finished exactly where they were last year. I think they have a steady in 4th place, mate. 4th place for me. I think they built on last year. I think they obviously captivated the 2 countries of the Wars.
Up the Wars.
And I think they stay healthy. Hope. I think they're the Manly of my last year. I think if they can stay healthy, they'll do good.
Okay. Yeah, look, I think, and I'm sure many people would agree with me, they overachieved last year. But I'm with you. I think they can do it again. We can absolutely disregard the loss to the Tigers in the preseason. That means absolutely nothing. I think Tuivasa-Sheck, the addition of him signing, that's I think a physical boost as far as what he can do on the field, skill wise, position wise, but a morale booster. He is going to get the fans behind him. He's going to get the boys behind. They've got a lot of depth in the backs as well. So there's a fight for positions, and I think often when you've got a team like the Warriors with lots of people trying to win a number on their back, it's healthy, it's good competition, and I think it only pushes everyone up. My only thing, I want to see how Adam Fanua-Blake goes towards the end of the season. Let's say circumstance Warriors aren't going the way that they thought they are. What does he do? He's moving to the Sharks next year, yeah?
Yeah, he's moving to the Sharks, mate. I reckon a week before the trade deadline, I reckon if we're flying and they're struggling, and I reckon my Sharks should make a big push, get him over.
That's one of the signings I'll be watching. Depending on where the teams are sitting, look, he's a great player. I don't know. He seems like the sort of bloke that if they're about to miss the 8, or if he might slacken off, and without knowing much about him. So that'll be the signing. Because again, does he go to the Sharks early? I don't know. Yeah. I've got top 8, maybe 5th-ish, 4th, 5th. I think it'll be very, very similar to what they did last year.
No worries. Now, mate, moving on to the Newcastle Knights, the team that last year just absolutely surged late. How do you think they're going to go this year, mate?
Again, some good healthy competition, sorry, for some of those positions. Cogger, a good inclusion, I think, coming over from Penrith. I like that. There's going to be fights for those halves positions. Someone will probably have to play a 14 role, I think, to utilise the skill there. So probably Hastings, Gamble play in the halves, Cogger maybe into the 14. I think that adds a bit of spark. That could be
Or
good.
maybe we've got Crosslands there. You got Jaden Brayley coming back from injury. I don't know if they want to do that way.
If they want to run two, hookers as well. So like, there's a lot of thought that'll have to go into that bench mainly. For me, Ponga has to play every game outside of Origin. That's going to be vital for their success. Their forward pack looks big and tough. I think they'll be solid. I've got them top 4.
Yeah, agree with you, mate. I got him top 3. I got him in 3rd.
Yeah, nice.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much exactly. I think I love the forward pack. They're still, Ross Dom young, but they've got, I think, another young guy taking a spot. You've still got Marzu on there. You got Gagai, Bradman Best.
Yeah, they're still strong. They're strong.
They're still absolutely, and yeah, I think they're going to be 3rd.
Nice. What about the Cows? North Queensland Cowboys.
Mate, I think they have a bounce back year.
Okay, nice.
I have them in 6. I think obviously the year they had a good run. Everyone expected it the year up last year, sorry. Then they had the down year. I think they were going to do what they did in 2021 again.
The bounce.
Yeah. And come 6.
Okay. Look, looking at their top 30 squad last night, they've got such a strong team on paper. I don't know. Colin Hess, ACL the other day, he's gone. They brought in McKaylee into the top 30. Did he come from the Tigers? Thomas McKaylee?
Don't know.
But anyway, brought him in. He looked good. I think it's going to...
trial games and hard work pays off. And
they boosted him up.
Got promoted.
So I think Taumalolo, he's been quiet the last couple of years, and we talked about his 10-year signing, whether that was too early, what's the go there. I think he needs the bounce back year. He needs to have a big year. Otherwise, you could see him getting shopped around. Cotter and Nanai, I think, are going to be the X factor, two players that can play big minutes. But can they bounce back from last year? I don't know. On paper, probably, but they've just got to find those gritty wins. I've got them 9th or 10th. I think they'll just miss the 8. And again, I was looking at the amount of wins every team had last year and I didn't look through the draw very much, but I was just trying to think, what other teams could they beat? A lot of these teams, I've got them missing the 8 because far out, like, who can they beat? That was my main question. Who can they beat and who can they get those nitty gritty wins out of? So I reckon they'll just miss the 8.
Yeah, very nice. Mate, moving on to the next team, the Parramatta Eels. How do you think sort of a bit of a disappointing year last year?
Unlucky to miss the 8 last year. But
the slow start killed them.
Yeah, they look like they're back to full strength though. Their squad looks pretty good. Everyone's back in a position. I think everyone's pretty healthy from what I can tell.
I think so, yeah.
Sivo's just got a couple of game suspension. Does that change much? Not a whole lot. He's a goose, that bloke.
They got Hayden done.
Yeah, right.
Easily.
They've now got Brandon Hands for the fighting for that hooker role, and he looks like he might even get a start. I think they'll probably make the 8. I think they'll probably unlucky to miss, and I think they'll just sneak in.
Mate, I've gone the other way. I think they're going to be unlucky again this year. I've got them 10th. So I think there's going to be, a couple of teams that sort of float around and maybe a costly win here or there, or a loss, might cost them a bit. And I think, unfortunately, they're one of the teams. I don't know. They haven't
That's
started
that's
well.
going to be one of my big points when we go through the ladder. Actually, something similar to that. But I can see them going either way.
Yep. There you go.
What about the
Move on.
reigning premiers? What do you reckon?
All the 3-time reigning premiers, mate.
Don't give them too much. Don't give them too much.
Mate, pretty simple. They had a bit of a shocking display actually on the weekend in the World Cup Challenge. They played a shit game, but fuck, the ref didn't. The ref didn't help them
It didn't help them.
at
No.
all. He was pretty bad, and it's what people said. We think the NRL refs are bad. Watch a Super League game, and they reckon they're the worst. So
Penrith looked. Let's go sideways a bit. Penrith looked lost in that first 20 minutes.
And someone brought up a good point, and this is what I think makes a factor every time. They're in round 5 in the Super League over there, and we haven't even started.
Yeah, that's true.
Wigan have got the games on the board. They've got the actual match fitness. You can have the fitness, but you don't have the match fitness. And I think that's a reason why when we go over to England, that we struggle a bit.
Yeah,
because
that's true. I hadn't necessarily considered that. So they're in round 5. Does that mean everyone had the week off for them to play?
Everyone had the week off, yeah.
And they just played.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
So
anyway, yeah, I suppose like you said, they're fair enough. Yep, go.
I got him in first. I can't really put him anywhere. I can't put him anywhere else, mate. I don't know how you can put him anywhere else.
Okay.
They haven't lost too many people.
Yeah, look, I've got down. There's a few losses, but their key players remain. The only player that I sort of looked at was Dane Laurie. Adds a little bit of depth for injury or an Origin game from it. He'll just fill a gap. So they're probably match for match. I don't see him going 4 in a row though. I think maybe they come 3rd or 4th and they bow out in the semis. I think they'll run out of puff 4 years in a row.
Wow. There you go.
And I reckon Jerome Luai will stuff something up for him. I'd love to see him cost him. Fair
enough. Mate, move on to the third Vegas team playing this week is the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Mate, I'll start off. I've got them.
They missed the 8 last year. Take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Have you written them down?
I have written them down, but
you changed.
I got them at 8. I got them at 8th, but the 9th team I don't know. And it's I'm going to go Rabbits 8. Rabbits 8.
Yep.
I just think I don't know. Last year was pretty disappointing. Obviously, they won the comp after 12 rounds or 13 rounds or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and they won.
Big slide.
Then they won 4 games or something like that for the rest of the year or something like that. I think whatever it was, you'd have to go back and look. But yeah, I think they'll be a bit. I mean, they've got something to prove this year, and I think they'll prove it, but not to their state that they like.
Yeah, look, I'm thinking pretty similar. Whiten makes a big difference for me. I think that's a pretty good signing. Ilias seems to be getting better and better. When he first come in, I was like, "Who's this kid? He's got nothing," but he's getting better and better. Cookie going to be vital again. I think they have to start thinking of a succession plan for Damien Cook, who's the next hooker.
They do have that Mama Zola.
That's right, Mama. Yeah.
I think something like that.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I think they might need to start putting him on the bench instead of Havili. I think they need to put him in there, give him a little bit of minute during Origin, and even the week after Origin. Just give Cook a rest and just.
Yeah.
There's only one way to get used to first grade, and that's playing first grade.
Yeah. So, similar to you, can they get back in the 8? You'd think so, but I'm not sold yet. I'm not sold on whether they will. So I don't know.
There you go. Mate, do you want to introduce the next team for us?
All right, the St. George Illawarra Dragons, one of the great teams. Interesting start to the year with the preseason challenge. Looked good against the Tigers, looked great against the Tigers, but absolutely horrendous against the Bunnies the week before. You notice from the game on the weekend, Ben Hunt actually looks happy. He seems to have done a mental backflip on wanting to leave. Shane Flanagan seems to have made a difference already within the team. There's been a few positional changes. I like that, but I don't like it because I think that still means that there's going to be some stuffing around for a few rounds of who plays where, and that gets me a little bit nervous. Couple of good combinations in there though. Sully and Rava. I think Luciano, once he comes back, is going to be a good impact and adds some depth and experience to the forward pack, which they haven't really had for the last couple of years. I do want to see how Hame Sele gets used because I like him when he played for the Dragons back in the day. So he might get an
He had a pretty
interchange
good
with
year
Little.
last year as well for
Yeah.
the Rabbits. He was
Yeah.
some games
So
started, came off the bench, had a good impact. So
yeah, so I think that might free up Jacob Little for maybe 20 minutes, and then Sele can probably play in the middle as well as maybe a little bit of hooker. I don't know. I think if the Dragons can come 9th or 10th, they've done extremely well. And I'm going to leave it at that.
oh
I just say every year, 9th or 10th.
yeah, you do. Well, if the people at home are following along a little bit, they would know the positions that have been left. 3 teams, 3 positions.
17, 15. And
Who's
second,
the
I
second
think.
one, mate? The 15th.
Yes.
I got him at 15.
Yes. I will take
I
that.
don't see him coming last. I don't see him having but I don't see him having a good year. I think this year Flano just needs to put his foundations in place. He didn't have successful straight away with the Sharks under obviously a bit of a different circumstance with sort of how we're coming out of the scandal and everything like that. But they've got the players, right? This is what ticks me about Andy Griffin saying, "Oh, the club's run bad." It is run bad, but you had the players. Just no one respected you. You got to have if you don't have the respect of the locker room, you're not going to get much out of the players, right?
That's changed, I reckon.
Oh, they said it's the fittest Dragon side they've ever had.
Yeah.
They said they reckon Shane Flanagan absolutely drilled him to the ground. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He comes in, the new coach, and goes, "I'm not your friend. I'm your coach."
Yeah.
Bang.
Let's go.
I think they'll have a poor season still, but much more better improvements. The foundations. This year's a foundation year, and then next year come up with better position. So yeah, I got him at 15th, mate.
I'll take 15th from you. That's
Definitely.
pretty good. What
Mate,
about the dreaded Sydney Roosters, mate?
Yeah, the 4th Vegas team for this week. I got him in 9th, mate. I think, and that was the team I was sort of tossing and turning up last
To
year.
miss the 8.
To miss the 8, yeah. I don't, mate. As I see all these pictures, everyone's got the Roosters in the top 4, and I look at the team and I go, mate, yeah, you got Manu. Who else you got? Mate.
Okay.
Teddy getting a year older.
Teddy's still in his prime.
He's still a good player.
Suoliti, who cares about Suoliti? Who cares about Suoliti?
He's going to uni.
Right.
Manu, one of the best players, and he can absolutely win every game for the Roosters, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd go another year older. Walker. Do the
Walker's?
Roosters really like him? He's a good player, but do they really? They like having these young guys in there that they can throw under the bus and blame it all on them. Kiri, he's another year older. I don't think he's that good of a.
He's 30 something, isn't he? Is he 30 something?
Oh,
32?
No, I don't think he's that old.
Or is he only like 29 or something, 28?
I think it's like 28, 29, yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Smith. I reckon they paid about $500K too much for him. Hargrave's on the way out. They got and I do like
32, you muppet.
Wow, there you go. 32.
I know my stuff.
I do like how Robbo's starting to implement some of the young guys coming into the team, like the Wongs, the Tyrrell May, sort of, the young Egan Butcher, Nat Butcher, and
Yep.
going, Hargraves having his last year, and then obviously getting Spencer Lenu. But I don't. People have him in second, third, and fourth, and I just look there and go, how?
All right. I hate to say this, but I've got them top 4, maybe even making a grand final if things go their way.
Me, you are kidding.
Spencer Leniu, great signing, and I think he only gets better going to the Roosters. Dom Young, I don't know. He's going to score the most tries this year from the whole season. Yeah, right. They've got depth in the forwards, which is perfect. Their backline, there's no dramas with their backline. Their backline is elite. They may need to do some more recruiting because they're going to lose. They're going to lose Manu and Suoli, like whoop-de-doo, but they've got them till the end of the year. And those boys, like living in the eastern suburbs, they want to win games because they want to get the little premiership ring on their finger and they want to be the who's who because they then want more money when they go to Union. Right. Brandon Smith, yes, overpaid. This is the year that he has a crack. Victor Radley, he stays on the field and stops getting suspended. They go a long way. I've got top 4. I hate to say it. I know, you know what? I hope I'm proven wrong, but I've got them coming in a top 4. Maybe they might even crack to a grand final. Well, I could be wrong. I don't care. They've got a good team and they've got experience there in multiple different positions that can lead them to win games. You can't argue with that.
No, I can't. And like I said, I think they do have 3 people that can do that. But, yeah. But, hey, that's the beauty of my ladder and your ladder. So,
let's wrap it up with the best team in the comp, the Wests Tigers.
Easily 3rd spoon in a row. All you need to say.
I'm going to give them some positivity. They look better than last year. They've got good signings in Olam. Caesar, I really like Bud Sullivan. I wish he hadn't left the Dragons. Sullivan, he didn't perform last week in the trial, but disregard that. It's against his old club. I think he was just revved up a little bit too much. Benji needs to stick with Sullivan and just let him do his thing. Similar to a few players this year or like in different teams, if you get a go at one position, a coach has got to give him a go. Like Walker, you just said, Walker got thrown under the bus last year, straight back to reserve grade at one stage. It's like, mate, he's in your top 17. He's your starting half. Like, how do you just drop him because he had 2 bad games? Sullivan, look, if he plays all 24 games, he'll make it work and he'll make the team his. It might take some time to work out some combinations. I think a player that they're missing is Dewey. Played 6 games last year. He's good enough that he needs to be in the 17 each week to make something happen. I don't want to see him come last. My the last dot point, this is shout out to Cole Taylor. Just want to see them not come last.
Well, they will be.
Oh, whatever. Who's your? Do you want to? Let's do before we do a ladder. Point scorers, try scorers. Bold prediction was the phrase I was looking for just before. What do you? I thought that would come to you. Bold prediction.
I was trying to think of myself. I'm like,
I just had nothing, and you're looking at me going, hey, "You're an idiot."
Yeah, I'm going.
Anyway,
but
what do you got?
Mate,
point scorers, try scorers.
Point scorer. I mean, going sort of with my prediction of they're going to have a very good year coming 3rd. I think Callum Ponga.
I'm with you.
He's got to stay fit. Obviously, I think if he has 1 or 2 head knocks, obviously that won't happen. And then try scorer, mate. Going with my other prediction with the Warriors going good. DWZ.
DWZ. Okay.
They love him there. So I don't know if,
They do go down his side,
and I
actually.
don't know if Roger. I haven't watched a trial game of him. I don't know if Roger's on his side.
I could be completely wrong, but I don't think he is. I think they're on opposite
So
sides.
I think Roger's on the left and
DWZ, I think,
DWZ
is a right side player.
Yeah.
Because
So
I feel like, yeah, anyway. Okay, well,
um,
I also, oh no, you go. Have you got a bold
well,
prediction?
and then I was just going to go. Obviously, my bold prediction is the Melbourne Storm to finish 11th.
Yeah,
That was good.
yeah. And we
That's
didn't,
bold.
Bade's asked for a smoky. I don't really have a smoky because I
It's
think
hard to
it's,
say
well,
because
maybe once you look on my ladder. But I don't know if I really have a smoky. I agree with
maybe
Ponga.
maybe the Knights for me. Maybe they're smoky, but they
Yeah,
finished. They finished with last year, so I don't know.
maybe
Yeah.
into the finals. I don't know. I agree with Ponga. Goal kicking. He loves a try too. So I think Knights go well. He scores a couple plus converts most. I'm going to go Dom Young. If the Roosters go well, I think they'll go to him. He's very, very fast. For anyone that watches or has watched Roger Fabry on Instagram, he's very, very fast. So he's got the foot. He's got the foot race. But he can get vertical. He can get up into the air. He's very athletic. So I think he'll probably score a lot of tries off. Maybe I don't know. Probably off Luke Keary's kicking. I'm
What's the
probably
number?
going to
How many you reckon? How many you reckon it's going to be?
24 games. He can probably score 28, 29.
Well, 25.
I think 25 won last year. I think he won with 25 last year.
Did he win it last year? Did he, Dom Young?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he scored the most. I reckon he can go back to back with a new team. Fact check that for me. Is that what you're looking at? But I think he
25.
did.
Yep. Dom
25 with
Young,
the Knights.
25.
Yeah. So I reckon he can go more with
Well, no,
the Roosters.
Darwin came third last year with 24. I reckon he'll win it this year with 25. So
Yeah. So what was
there you go.
what was the top 5 last year? Have you got it there?
They only have the top 3.
Top 3. Who comes
So
second?
Dom Young, Asako, that one.
Asako, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Because he had that massive. He was the only one scoring tries for the Dolphins, really. And then for the points, mate, they had Asako, Nick Meaney. That's a fucking massive one.
Nick Meaney was the highest point
Because
scorer.
he was goal kick. He was
Holy shit.
second, and then Nathan Cleary was third.
But
Obviously, he
Asako.
missed some games. But he missed.
So yeah, Asako if you can score those tries. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Yep. You want to go? We'll go just 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. You give a recap and I'll finalise mine. I got them in front of me.
Well, I was just going to recap my whole ladder straight away, mate.
Go for it.
So starting from the bottom to the top, you don't really want to leave the shitters to last. Get them out of the way. So 17th Tigers, 16th Raiders, 15th Dragons, 14th Dogs, 13th Titans, 12th Dolphins, 11th, my massive slide, the Storm, 10th the Eels, 9th the Roosters, the shit on your beads, 8th the Rabbits, 7th the Sharks, 6th the Cowboys, 5th Manly, 4th Warriors, 3rd Knights, 2nd Broncos, and the 1st the Penrith Panthers. 4P.
Ours is so different. 17th.
That's good.
Canberra Raiders. 16th Dolphins. 15th Gold Coast Titans. 14th Manly Sea Eagles. 13th Wests Tigers.
Oh my god.
12th. I could probably swap the Tigers down with the Titans, but that's okay. Maybe I'll swap it when I put it to Instagram. 12th North Queensland Cowboys. 11th Canterbury Bulldogs. 10th South Sydney Rabbitohs. 9th St. George Illawarra Dragons. 8th Parramatta Eels. 7th Cronulla Sharks. 6th New Zealand Warriors. 5th Brisbane Broncos. 4th Sydney Roosters. 3rd Melbourne Storm. 2nd Penrith Panthers. 1st Newcastle Knights. Go the Knights. I'm going to steal Shane. I'm going to steal Shane's orange Knights jersey if the Knights get up there in number 1.
Yeah. Well, speaking of him, mate, he actually did send in his top try scorer and top point scorer. He went the same with Pascal Ponga, but the try scorer he went with Adokar. So
That could happen. He could score a lot.
he'd be the top scorer for the Dogs, but not. Yeah, I don't think for the NRL. But hey,
What would you know?
exactly right. Exactly right, mate.
Well, look, I'll take a screenshot of them and I'll post them up. Let us know what you think. You can absolutely roast mine or Hayden's ladder predictions or Shano's when he sends them through as well. Let us know. I'd like to move on to a bit of golf, H, but I think we need to just do a quick announcement and a shout out to all those people that have joined the tipping comp and the Supercoach comp. We've got some good numbers. We got about 20, 25 in both comps.
So we got 20. Hang on, just got 26 in the tipping, mate.
Beautiful.
26 in the tipping. So hopefully we'll put them on our story again. Hopefully we can get it up to 30 with that. And then we got 17 in the Supercoach.
Yeah.
As obviously people want to tip, but obviously it's a bit harder for people to stay focused.
Supercoach, yeah. Yeah, I spoke to a lot of battlers that said, "Oh, I can't do the Supercoach. I'll do the tipping."
Yeah.
So
yeah, 17.
We'll keep reposting. Feel free to keep joining. Look, keep it open. Round 1 is a split round sort of thing, anyway. So we'll keep it open for round 1. Jump in, tell your mates. Like honestly, tell your mates. Doesn't matter. We've got some prizes on offer. That announcement, unless you want to tease it now, H, I'm going to announce it on the socials. Unless you want to tell the battlers on the podcast.
Well, shoot, I don't know. Do we leave it a surprise for the socials, or do you want to announce it?
I mean, up to you. We can keep it as a surprise. What do you want to announce?
Well, we'll announce the Supercoach because that's a pretty easy one.
Okay.
We're going to go with the Supercoach ring again, mate. And then we agreed on the second one. That's what I mean. I don't know if we announced that as well.
Ballas, what you win this year is going to be a Supercoach ring, and we're going to get some merch. So first place and second place are going to secure themselves some merch, some down the middle merch. Tipping, let's just do it. Tipping comp, we're going to get the same prize as last year. You're going to win a game of golf and some beers on us. And depending on who wins, maybe second place might also win some beers. I know there's some under 18s battlers in there, but some merch, right? So we're getting some merch this year. So winners, you're going to get yourself something down the middle. Okay, get excited for that. We're excited for that.
If a second or third they get the merch, and then if they're under 18, obviously, and
we'll
then
sort something out for you.
Over 18, yeah, we'll sort something definitely. Maybe a 6-pack of soft drinks. I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll see how it is, but yeah.
That'll go on the social media too. So get excited.
100%.
Leave golf.
Yeah, mate. We'll quickly it's in Jeddah. Is that how you actually?
I don't know. How do you say it? I always just say Jeddah.
Jeddah. Mate, I think we'll just keep it pretty plain and simple. We'll just pick. Actually, we got the return of Anthony Kim from 11 years, mate, secured as a permanent wild card for the rest of the year. So not just one event.
Wild card. Yeah, right.
Permanent wild card. So, yeah, so that'll be good. I think that might bring a bit more fans to the sport, not to the sport, but to live.
The buzz on social media around him returning, because you probably wouldn't even know Anthony Kim from when he was playing golf, would you?
No, not really.
You weren't into golf back then.
I wasn't into golf. No.
Yes, that's right. I was trying to think of what injury he did, and then he just never come back. He was who can I liken it to? Maybe to be honest, maybe like a Cam Smith or a Matt Wolf. Like when he come out, the young bloke, he was like burst onto the scene. He a couple of times like wore this big belt buckle type thing, and like he was wearing he looked good, and I think he played like maybe the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup or something as well, like as a young bloke. Anyway, he was like the big thing. So for him to come back, a lot of golfers, although Johnny Rahm didn't even know who he was, so that was good.
Well, he
But
did
yeah,
dress a bit casual.
he's
Sort of on the
just got
range,
his
he was on the back of his
t-shirt on.
shirt,
Yeah, yeah.
the Nike joggers, like long
So,
hair.
but I think it'll bring a bit of buzz for those for those that were watching golf 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, because he was only on the tour for a couple of years before he left, and then he
I think it
just
was
didn't
3
come back.
years. I think it
Yeah,
was,
3 years.
yeah, I think
So
it was 3 years. Yeah.
so anyway,
There you go.
who you got winning?
Mate, I'm going to back the Aussie. I'm going to back Cam Smith for a win this week.
Flip a coin. You either back him or you.
Yeah, he's going to go one way. He's going to be up there, or he's not going to be up there.
Yeah.
But this year, this event, he'll be up there. And then I will. So the week I've picked the players, they haven't won, but then they'll come out when I don't pick them, they'll win.
Anytime, mate.
I reckon they're in pretty good form. I reckon Talk GC.
Talk. Okay. I'm gonna go Matty Wolf. I think he played pretty good.
Yep.
After his last finish, come fifth. I think I'm looking at here, fourth.
I think so,
And then he played it right down in was it Mexico? After that, he went to Mexico. He played very well there too. So I'm gonna go him, and I'll back it up with the range goats too. I'm gonna go Wolf and range goats. There you go.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Very nice.
Sweet. Oh, actually, tipping. Who have you got this weekend?
I was about to say we totally brushed the Vegas games. Mate, I am going to tip Manly and Brisbane. Manly 1-12, Brisbane 13+.
You're going Manly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going South.
There you go.
South.
Who you going out there, mate?
South's yeah, I'm going South. I'm going to go South to beat Seagulls. I'm going to go Broncos to beat Roosters, though.
There you go.
I like Roosters over the whole season, but there's something about the Bronx over there in no, actually I'm gonna flip that back. I'm gonna go the Roosters.
There you go.
Have you watched their little YouTube videos? Go on to the Sydney Roosters YouTube, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle tipped me onto that. They are so professional, and they look like they're all over it. They look ready to win. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go the two Sydney teams in Rabbitohs and Roosters. There you go.
Very nice.
Beautiful. All right. And then we'll do the next week.
Exactly right. 100%.
Perfect. Okay. Anything else?
I'm all done. There you go.
All done.
Ladder prediction done.
Ladder prediction, season
year.
preview. Yeah, we'll look at this again in how many months? 10 months time and go, you idiot.
Right. 100%.
All right, Butlers, enjoy finally watching some footy, some proper NRL again. We'll talk to you over the weekends, and we'll be back next week. Beautiful.